Welcome to the newer episode of Power Seat. Today we are very glad to have Mr. Dinesh Gajendran representing himself to the UN as a representative of India, and he has been connecting a lot of nations and youth across the world and made youth empowerment a happening agenda for the world. As a part of Indo-Sri Lankan Youth Conclave, there's a delegate came from Sri Lanka to our campus. He was the catalyst for that. And we are very glad and excited to welcome you, Mr. Gajendran. And see, as you have told in the morning that you have been connecting youth across the world. What is the outcome that you expect? What way the students are going to be benefited and what way our country is going to be benefited?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Nehru Group of Institutions, for hosting me today here. And I feel privileged to be here. And regarding the inputs you asked for, so we work with young people on building their knowledge about globalization. We believe that the learning which happens in class should have an exposure beyond classrooms as well. Maybe you can call it as an experiential learning activities. We are looking at this global opportunities for the students in multiple ways, taking an internship in their favorite field abroad, all studying some semester abroad programs. We are looking at a holistic development and perspectives of the students, irrespective of the domain they are studying. So we are concentrating to give them an international exposure on different components. Like component number one, they will be getting an education opportunity to go to foreign universities to attend their conferences, programs, and collaborative certificate courses. And number two, exposure on industry and skilling. Number three will be government, governance, politics, and policies.
Wow.
So that is our structure. So when you say government, why government and governance is important for a college student? Because once they interact with the bureaucrats, policymakers, public policy officials, that helps them to understand the corporate governance structures and understand the strategic management. For component number four is global diplomacy and international relations.
Okay.
So diplomacy, it's one of the very purposeful learning they should do in their life. So it starts from their family, professional spaces, that we are giving them a practical experience on that. And international relations, making yourself as a global citizen, which is very much important to make sure what happening in the world should learn from you within your classrooms and beyond classrooms. And we are integrating arts, culture, and heritage also as one of the component in this global collaboration activities. Yes.
That's wonderful, wonderful answer. From your talk, I have taken two things. One is core learning happens outside the classroom. Second, you had an opportunity to represent India, to go to Sri Lanka and educate their teachers and public servants during their rough time. And how did you manage that, and what strength you have got after that to make you come to this level?
I'm a first generation graduate from Tamil Nadu. So I got a privileged opportunity to get a basic education. So I was always hunting for the opportunities during my school days, college days. So I'm used to excel in all my co-curriculum, extra-curriculum, beyond classroom. Whatever the opportunities available within this education system, I grabbed that opportunities, and also I mastered in that.
So you used to be a go-getter?
Yes, always, not just sitting at one place. And wherever we go, we make sure we become a leader in that particular point of view. After my MBA program, I got an opportunity to go to Sri Lanka as part of the invitation from the Sri Lankan Ministry of Youth and Sports. Then I got an opportunity to serve for the teachers, young people. India and Sri Lanka, we've been a part of a program called the Duke of Edinburgh International Award Program by Prince Philip.
Okay.
I was a gold award holder of that program. The same award program has been implemented by the Sri Lankan youth. Okay. So I went as a resource person, and then I find opportunities.
That means you are sponsored by Government of India?
Yeah, Government of Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Government of India, when I represented for the Commonwealth Forum, Commonwealth Heads of Governments meeting, I had been nominated by our Indian government as a first youth representative to be the chairperson candidate for the Commonwealth Youth Council, which is around 1.2 billion young people from 56 countries.
Okay.
So Sri Lanka, I performed well because I met the Minister of Youth of Sri Lanka in United Nations. when I got nominated for UN General Assembly. That's where we build the connections.
Now that you have been to different countries, you have visited different colleges in India. What are the piece of advice you would like to give to the youngsters? Because now people say youngsters, they have a lot of information in their hand, but then when it comes to the question of skill and exploring an opportunity and winning that, I think Indian youth slightly fail in that. What's your piece of advice for them?
Yeah. So right question at right time, sir. Uh, Actually, I'm going to a lot of universities across the world. For example, when a student, because we have a lot of skill gaps, people say there is no job opportunities, but the real fact is there's a lot of job available, but the people and the job, the skilling matters.
Yeah, the gap.
That skill gap we see. Why this happens means, for example, we had a mindset that based on our marks, we need to choose our degrees. We had that mindset among our parents. They just suddenly join some courses. That too, because of peer pressure and peer inputs. When I suggest to the student, I always suggest whether you have a capability to pursue that skill.
Yes.
So we are starting our first failure when we choose our course
Wrong
itself,
program.
wrong program. So it should be sensitized for the school students from 8, 9, 10 itself, so that they can choose their grade 11 specialization properly.
Do you feel there is a sensitization required for the Indian
Very,
parents?
very much sensitization, because the student or independently are not choosing any program. In Indian mindset, the parents' inputs is more.
Yes.
But the parents should have their consciousness also what is what. For example, let's say this 5 years is computer is doing good. Before putting them for a particular degree, analyze their 10th marks and 12th marks. That is one aspect. And remaining 70%, you can sit with the children, do the counseling, and make sure you understand what they are good at. Or else, if the passion and profession is different, it is very tough for them to take a ride on that.
That's a very good piece of advice for the youth. And having said about the Youth Council, United Nations, Commonwealth, how do they sponsor different programs or students personally to go for international education and for exchange program or faculty project or internship? How do they sponsor?
So one thing is each government has a lot of opportunities. Even Indian government sends many young people for a youth exchange program and sponsoring students to study abroad and sponsoring students to do an internship abroad. Even recent Tamil Nadu government are sending 100 youth to various countries for that internship program. The criteria may be different from place to place for first generation graduate. Each organization has a different format of doing that. India government sends skilled people for world skill competition, which is fully sponsored. Likewise, there is a lot of opportunities within our government also. So now government are doing a lot of program for the Institute of National Importance, and sometime it is getting an open call also. When you see the foreign governments and maybe intergovernmental agencies like United Nations or Commonwealth, they have a fellowship programs. For example, Commonwealth in the case, I mean, say example, it is a combination of 56 countries, which is second largest intergovernmental agency in the world after United Nations. So they have around different kind of a scholarship for your mostly for the PG programs. So you need to be very strong at your social gesture during your school, college.
All the partnering countries.
All the member countries. So member countries, the eligibility criteria is beyond academics. Along with your academics, how good you are at being a human, being a contributor for social development, sustainable development. Because that kind of a scholarships for testing the students. Once you complete the scholarship, how you will become an asset to the country. So that is what they are looking at. In any country which offers bursaries or scholarship, they look at your service learning, they look at your experiential learning, they look at your extracurriculum, co-curriculum marks. So being an all-rounder can be an entrepreneur, give jobs for everyone, can be a good resource for your country. That's what the global entity is looking for. In Commonwealth concern, we have Chevening Scholarship, British High Commission, Queen Elizabeth, Queen Victoria, Association of Commonwealth Universities. There is a lot of scholarship available from UG to PhD to postdoctorate. Because we have a lot of MOUs with many institutions, and we are fortunate to sign one with the Nehru Group of Institutions.
Thank you.
So whichever we have been institutions we work with, once they enter into the first year, We sensitize them on the global opportunities, global scholarships, and profile building and portfolio building.
Okay.
With the journey of 3 years, they are inside the college. How they are building all this resume, CV, profile, portfolio. That will be resulting in applying for this kind of a scholarship, or will result in three perspectives. If you build all this, you will be eligible for higher education. So you will appear for the placements, or you will become a very good entrepreneur. These three verticals where we are looking at when we work with particular institutions and skilling the people. Normally, the skilling happens on a one particular line. Our skilling happens on a holistic development beyond the domain perspectives.
Fine.
Yes.
So that's a wonderful learning for all of us. See, these days, especially in the mediocre colleges in India, all the teachers and students, parents, all are very serious about academics, marks, their first rank, first class distinction kind of things. And more sensitization, I feel, is needed for the teachers. That classroom is a very limited area. We have to expose the children to beyond the classroom, beyond the curriculum. That will be making them solid to compete in the world. So I just wanted to ask you, like, India is now very fast growing, but why India alone is not having a youth council? Like many other countries are having, and the India has been talking about the demographic dividend as well. And why not India into this cluster?
Good question, sir. Because I've been personally working and listening to almost last 4 or 5 youth ministers of India. If you take a world, very long back they've started. The case of Malaysia, Malaysian Youth Council, the age of Malaysian Youth Council is more than 70 years.
Oh.
That means pre-independence itself, they've started this youth council. Now it's been under the Ministry of Youth and Sports as an autonomous body.
Okay.
If you can see, there are full structure employees, full structure buildings, full structure funding. Almost 90% of the funding comes from the government. And they have parent youth council and 40 youth councils nationwide. So all these 40 youth councils under the Malaysian Youth Council brand. Government has a control on it, and also government putting a lot of funding. You could take a case of Singapore Youth Council.
And you were telling current Malaysian president is the
Prime Minister.
Former,
Prime Minister is the former Youth Council president. So their political aspiration and also the aspiration towards the growth of the country comes from the age of youth. So when you're in the council, you do the development activities for your country, your place, your locality.
You're well connected with society.
You work with your MLAs, you work with your MPs. So there'll be very closely connected environment. So that creates a competitiveness beyond your political ideologies. You country first, politics is next. That's why the youth of other nations have been turned up. And Sri Lanka has National Services Council, Singapore Youth Council, British Youth Council, Jamaica Youth Council. In India has almost more of a structured program within the academic institutions. Like NCC, NSS, ORC, within academic limits. What we are lacking is, when comparative to the other country, once you complete your university system, there is no uniformed structured opportunities to grow up in the youth spectrum. But here, India, we are lacking that. Maybe we have a rural sector, we have Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan. So that is only happening at the rural clubs, at rural thing. India, when it comes to Ministry of Youth and Sports, sports has been given a concentration. This youth component should be given a more value. Now, in the last 5 years, I can see Indian government is nominating youth for G20 and youth for Commonwealth. Maybe I can suggest that it should start from the state level. So some states, because I was a part of India's youth policy consultation in 2014, we had given a lot of recommendation. After 2014, there was no youth policy relaunched so far in the last 11 years. So if it's time to go for another youth policy consultations and launch youth policies in next 1 or 2 years, so that you can consult with the current gen set of people. And then based on, you can start district-wise and state-wise, so that it can be fulfilled. So looking forward for that.
That's a good insight. And now to conclude, you told you belong to the first generation graduate, and now you have come to this level to negotiate or creating tables for negotiation across the world. What is the success mantra for you as a guy from a very rural village grown to an international stature. What is the success mantra for you?
Our success mantra is the journey from grassroots to global should not stop within one person. So that I've taken this module even after my MBA. I was just 1 year in corporate. I left my job because I've decided that I want to serve. I don't want a corporate job. So I went back to my hometown, being a part of my village panchayat, elected as a village councillor. I served there for 5 years for Gram Sabhas, Village Education Council, School Management Committee, Poverty Reduction Committee. What are the opportunities available there? We started working and contributing there. So I see as a success mantra, if you get something, give back so that the more number of people can be raised and then they will be the asset and catalyst for the community. There is two things. One is go to the top, be the decision maker and change the world because you have the authority, or work at the grassroots, see the change in front of you, give beneficiary for the people at least in and around you. If one individual thinks like that, it may be multiple and it will have a lot of ripple effects. So now my foundation is almost working with 100 plus universities, 300 plus schools and a lot of communities. So I have taken that personal risk which is rewarding now for the benefit of young people and the institutions. So inspire people, inform them, engage them, you can see the transformation. So inspire people and just bring the change.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for this wonderful insight about your growth, how you connect the people. And we look forward to work with you, with your organization for the betterment of the youth of Nehru Group of Institutions
Yes.
and this nation.